Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am actually in Connecticut right now in the United States, and I am doing a really fun overnight trip in kind of southeastern Connecticut. So we're gonna start with a gorgeous lunch along the water in Old Saybrook. Then we are gonna head over to Mystic, Connecticut. We're going to go explore the historic old town and seaport area. And then the following day, we are gonna go to check out Foxwoods, which is a casino in Connecticut. And as I understand, there are also some really lovely shopping outlets that are also adjacent to Foxwoods. I think they're called the Tanger outlets. So this is gonna be a fun local, you could do this as like a little day trip, a little overnight trip. And if that sounds good, come and join me. Our first stop is lunch in Old Saybrook. So our first stop of the day was the Saybrook Point Resort and Marina. The hotel opened in 1980 and it is still family run today. And it has a very unique location in Old Saybrook. Essentially, it's located on the water, but specifically where the Connecticut River meets Long Island Sound. So it's surrounded by water. People pull their boats up to the hotel to kind of dock them there. And as a result, there's a lovely mix of outdoor and indoor kind of dining, bars, etc. in the hotel. It really looks like a lovely hotel to stay at if you're looking for an overnight or a special trip to be kind of by the water in the summer months. However, for us, we were just going for lunch and we went to a place called Fresh Salt, which was a fantastic restaurant. Sadly, it was a little too chilly to eat outside, so we ended up dining inside, but we had a lovely window view, so we got to enjoy some views of the water. And the restaurant itself is an award-winning restaurant. We started with this sriracha fried calamari. So imagine your typical fried calamari, but with sriracha, spices and peppers and some scallions. It was really good and just the right amount of naughtiness to start the meal. And then I ended up having the Cobb salad for my main. I did remove some things, but it comes typically with chicken, avocado, bacon, corn, confit, red onion, and tomatoes and cucumber. I actually omitted the corn and the red onion. Also comes with a side of buttermilk ranch dressing, and this salad was exactly what I love in a salad. A little bit naughty with the bacon, but lots of great healthy nutritious ingredients and just satisfyingly crunchy. And then my father actually had the lobster roll, which is one of the specialties here, and it actually comes warm with butter. So there's always a debate with lobster rolls. Should it come cold with mayo or warm with butter? And that's how they serve it there. It comes with coleslaw and french fries, and we all had some iced teas, and my dad had a cranberry and seltzer. So yeah, just a really lovely lunch, leisurely lunch, enjoying the water views, enjoying each other's company, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for something unique to do in Connecticut. So next up, we drove over to Mystic, Connecticut to check into our hotel, which is what you can see behind me. We are staying at the Hilton, which is in Mystic. It's not in the center of the old town of Mystic. It's probably like a 10-minute or so drive from the town center, but I will be doing a dedicated hotel room review vlog as always, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I will leave the hotel linked down below, and when the review is ready, I'll also leave that link down below with any other places that are mentioned in this video. After settling into the hotel, it was time to go and explore the historic town center of Mystic. So we hopped in the car, drove on over, found some parking. We're here kind of in the middle of the week, so it's not a weekend, but I've been told that Mystic is one of the hottest towns to visit in Connecticut these days, so just beware. But we parked for 2 hours on the street for free, so that was really easy. And Mystic itself has just such a rich history. It's a very kind of lovely, charming Connecticut town, but it was actually originally settled by the Pequots, and other early kind of settlers included several of the other kind of Native American tribes, and also the Dutch were actually the first, I think, foreigners to come into this part of America, even before the British, which actually surprised me a little bit. But I'll leave a link down below with some of the history if you're like me and you geek out on that a bit. But what we did is we parked the car and we decided to take a little stroll along the water before heading over the famous bridge in Mystic. So Mystic is famous for its Mystic River Bascule Bridge, and the bridge actually opened in 1922. It still operates today. It has both car and pedestrian traffic traveling over it, but like kind of a drawbridge type situation, it opens and closes, and we got to see this happen twice as we went over. I think something like almost felt like every hour it was opening, and what was almost comical is the bridge opens up so high. I expected to see these huge ships traveling through, but no, these are like small kind of leisure boats. But I guess because some of their, I don't know what the term is, like it's not quite a proper sailboat, but whatever the if it's a sail or navigation point, because it rises up too high, the bridge actually has to open to let it through, because the bridge is like quite low to the water. So it was really interesting to see it rising, and it's quite dramatic. So if you're here and you get a chance to witness it in person, it's actually quite cool, and I would recommend just taking it all in. So the official stats say that it opens for approximately 5 minutes around 2,200 times per year, carrying an average daily traffic of 11,800, and apparently it is driven by two 1,400-pound, 40-horsepower direct current motors, and its span is greased and inspected every 100 openings or 2 weeks during the winter. And apparently from May 1st to October 31st, the bridge opens hourly during daylight at 40 minutes past the hour and on demand, and it usually raises to let sailboats and yachts pass under it. The more you know. So the road that we spent our most amount of time on is called West Main Street. It's just over the bridge, and as soon as you arrive on the other side of the bridge, you just see all of these charming little boutique shops, restaurants, cafes. So we just spent the better part of 2 hours kind of wandering in to each of them. We also had a little pit stop for a cake, but let me talk to you about some of the shops that I enjoyed. So I really enjoyed the Spice and Tea Exchange of Mystic. If you're looking for a really unique gift to get someone that's not so crazy expensive, they had lots of really unique spice rubs, spice blends, like blueberry sugar, all these really random things. My father got this mango habanero sugar that he's gonna make margaritas with. That sounds fantastic. So really enjoyed that one. And I also made a purchase actually at one shop called Adore, which was this really charming women's boutique. I got my friend a gift for her birthday, and again, it was super reasonably priced. So but one thing we noticed, because we're here on a Tuesday, a lot of the stores are actually closed on Tuesday. So about half of the stores we wanted to go into, we couldn't. But what I would recommend is just spend some time, anything that looks remotely interesting or unique to you, go pop in, go have a browse, treat yourself to something, get a gift for someone. It just makes for a really lovely way to kind of spend some time. We also did wander all the way down to the famous Mystic Pizza, although my parents had quite a rant because I guess they went the last time they were in Mystic, and they said it really wasn't good food, and they said it's so hyped up because of the movie, but they just said the food was terrible and the portions are so big they didn't even want to take any of it home, and that's really rare for them. I don't think they're like the pickiest eaters out there. So it's a bit sad because that's kind of one of the things Mystic is famous for. But one place I wouldn't mind going back to if we had had more time is Next to Mystic Pizza is a place called Brew Pub, and that looked really cool. We were speculating that it must have been in like an old bank or an old town hall type building, but they have all these cool palm trees outside, and there's picnic tables, and on a really nice sunny day, that just sounds like a cool thing to do. But instead, because we were really craving a coffee, we turned the corner and walked down the road a little bit to a place called Sift, which is apparently a very hyped and famous bakery. So Sift Bake Shop has had a lot of hype around it because I guess in 2018, the owner and the famous pastry chef Adam Young was named Food Network's best baker in America. And when you go into the bake shop, you can definitely tell that they take their baked goods seriously. There are a mix of sweet and savory baked goods, so you could get a croissant, you could get like a little sandwich there, like not like proper sandwich shop, but like croissant sandwiches, kind of pastry based stuff like that. There also are kind of cookies, brownies, some really incredible fancy pastries, and macaroons. So, and on the coffee side, there definitely is a very serious barista game going on because they have all the different milk alternatives, including like coconut milk, regular milks, so many different kind of flavors for coffee and some really cool ones. I just opted for an iced coffee with coconut milk because I'm really trying to limit my sugar, and I decided that I would not have the sugar in the coffee so I could have the sugar in the baked goods. So my mom got a chocolate chip cookie with sea salt, and she did like it, but she said there was way too much sea salt on it, and I did try it and I would agree with that. It was just too salty to be enjoyable. Someone was just a little too heavy-handed with the salt. And then my father and I split this Millionaire's pastry, which was outstanding. So what we had was the Millionaire's chocolate tart, which is chocolate sable, dark chocolate pâte de crème, 72% Bavarian chocolate, dulce de leche, and an almond praline. This was insanely good, and it wasn't too sugary sweet. That's what I really loved about it. I think because of the dark chocolate pairings in there, even though there was dulce de leche inside the ball of the pastry, it didn't feel overwhelmingly sweet, which was great. We both loved it. And actually, now that I'm taking a little cheeky look at the menu, I think because we went so late in the day, I didn't see as much of the savory items, and I don't want to mislead, but there are quiches, there are different sandwiches on house-made bread. You can have things like avocado toast, frittatas, a caprese sandwich. There's even a few salads, like a southwestern Cobb, a Thai salad, berry kale. So there definitely are a bunch of savory items in addition to the sweets. So we thoroughly enjoyed our visit, and I would definitely recommend it if you are in Mystic. So after our coffee and cake stop, we did a little more shopping and a little more wandering around the water before realizing our parking was just about up at the 2-hour mark. So we made our way back to the car, and now we're in the hotel just taking a little chill break before we head to dinner tonight. So I'll check in with you a bit later and tell you a bit about dinner tonight, because we're actually heading back into that same area of Mystic for a very special dinner. For dinner, we went to S&P Oyster in Mystic, Connecticut. It has such a beautiful view. So unfortunately, the weather really wasn't warm on the day that we went, but they have a gorgeous outdoor terrace that looks across Mystic River, but we were gonna be sitting inside for this one, and it was super busy when we got there, so we went upstairs to have a drink before getting seated at our table. We started with the Thai calamari, so Something about our family just loves fried calamari. We had it for lunch, now we're having it for dinner. But this was really good with like a nice spicy aioli to go with it. And then we also had this other yellow and kind of red beetroot tartare, which I think was actually a vegan dish, which was really nice flavors. We also love anything with beets. And then for the mains, my mom got the seared scallops. So they actually have a gluten-free menu. My father did not get a gluten-free offering. He got a special seafood pasta that was on that day, which he said was absolutely outstanding. But I thought it was nice that they had kind of gluten-free, vegan, and regular menus. And then I got the seared ahi tuna, which came with a bunch of delicious Asian vegetables, rice, and spicy aioli. It was such a great dinner, and I would definitely recommend it if you are in Mystic. So the next morning we got up, checked out of the hotel, and went over to Foxwoods Resort and Casino. Now, Foxwoods has been around in Connecticut for a long time. It reportedly started as a place to play bingo in 1986, but it has evolved to include the opening of a casino in 1992, and in 1997, the opening of the hotel. And then when you come today, oh my goodness, it is a massive complex with 6 different casinos, over 250 gaming tables, over 5,500 slot machines, plus mall, like restaurants, and even an outlet in there. So it's one of those places that I think, especially in the winter, is kind of nice just to come in and walk around. We got ourselves a coffee, and it was actually just really nice to stroll, to see some of the different shops. We didn't do any gambling. But yeah, I hadn't been to Foxwoods since a very long time, for a John Legend concert actually. And we didn't do any gambling either. We just had a dinner and went to the concert. But on this occasion, we actually went and explored the Tanger outlets a bit. I mean, obviously a little shopping is never a bad idea. And I have to say, for kind of your basic mid-market stores like UGG, White Black, Kate Spade, Michael Kors, they actually had some pretty good selections. I actually bought something at Ann Taylor. I actually bought 2 things. I bought a pair of sandals and a cardigan. It's nice in the sense that, say your partner wanted to go gambling and you didn't, you could just go and pop around the outlets, get a nice long walk-in, especially in the winter months when it's cold, and yeah, just see if there's any good deals to be had at the outlets. So I thoroughly enjoyed just checking that out. But yeah, we just had a coffee, we walked around a bit, and then it was time to hit the road and kind of wrap up the trip. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video, seeing a couple different spots around Connecticut. If you are planning a weekend without kids, this is not kind of your family-friendly Mystic video. This is probably more on a friend's trip or kind of an adult's trip. And yeah, just really enjoyed it. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. That really helps my channel. I would love it if you considered subscribing. It costs nothing. It just means that you see my latest videos when you pop back on YouTube. And leave a comment. Is there anything exciting in kind of the southeastern Connecticut area, in Mystic, around Foxwoods, that you think would be really interesting for people who watch this channel to check out? Sharing is always caring here on this channel. As always, everything will be linked down below, and that wraps up the video. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you soon.